I used to believe the world was fair, that if you were kind, the universe would somehow be kind back. But the night my brother died, that belief went into the ground with him. My name is Ava Monroe, and before everything collapsed, I was just a 22-year-old photography student trying to survive in a small coastal town called Ravenshore. My brother, Eli, was everything good I knew: funny, loyal, and stupidly brave. He worked nights at a warehouse while studying criminal justice. He used to tell me, "One day I'll make this town safe for you." He didn't know the same people he trusted were the ones who would destroy him. The night it happened was too quiet. I was editing photos in my tiny apartment when my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost ignored it until I heard the shaky voice on the other end. "Are you related to Eli Monroe?" The world blurred after that. Police lights, sirens, rain that smelled like iron. They said accident. They always say accident. But I saw Eli's body, saw the bruises that didn't come from a crash. The officer avoided my eyes when I asked who had been there. That's when something inside me cracked. Not in grief, but in clarity. If the system wouldn't give me justice, I'd build my own. At the funeral, everyone whispered like they cared, especially Caleb Frost, the mayor's son who used to hang around Eli pretending to be his friend. He showed up in a black suit, all crocodile tears and fake sympathy. I knew he was lying. My gut screamed it. When I confronted the detective, Agent Ramsey, he said, "Drop it, Ms. Monroe. You don't want to get involved with the Frost family." Exactly what I needed to hear. For weeks, I barely slept. I went through Eli's phone, laptop, every text and file. Buried beneath memes and playlists, I found something, a folder labeled "For Ava If Something Happens." Inside were photos of warehouse ledgers, shipments, and cash transfers. Eli had been investigating something tied to the Frosts: corruption, drugs, maybe worse. And then I understood. He hadn't just died, he'd been silenced. I started small. I cut my hair, dyed it black, got an internship at Frost Enterprises, the same company my brother had been digging into. Everyone saw me as the quiet, harmless girl making copies. Perfect. Behind my desk, I copied everything: financial records, private emails, hidden accounts. Every lie they'd ever sold this town was sitting on their servers, waiting for someone brave or broken enough to pull the pin. That's when Noah Reed entered the picture. He was the Frost family's golden employee. Tall, careful, eyes like storm clouds. I wanted to hate him, but he wasn't like the rest. He noticed things. My late nights, the way I flinched when Caleb passed by. One evening, while we both worked overtime, he said, "You're not here for the job, are you?" I didn't answer. He didn't press. But the next day, an anonymous flash drive appeared on my desk. Inside was footage of Eli arguing with Caleb outside the warehouse, 10 minutes before the accident. I stared at the screen until my hands shook. The proof I'd been hunting, gift-wrapped by the one man who should have been my enemy. Noah started helping me quietly, leaving access codes, forwarding me encrypted documents, steering me away from security patrols. I never asked why. Maybe he wanted out too. Maybe he saw the same rot from inside. The deeper we dug, the darker it got. The Frost family had been laundering campaign money through fake charities, and Eli had stumbled onto it. Caleb had threatened him, and someone, maybe Caleb himself, had made sure my brother wouldn't talk again. One night, I followed Caleb to the Silverline Club, a place where the town's elite played at being untouchable. The air reeked of arrogance and money. I slipped inside dressed like one of them: heels, red lipstick, borrowed confidence. I watched Caleb laugh with politicians who had blood on their cufflinks. Every clink of glass made my heart pound harder. And when he saw me, he froze. For a split second, guilt flickered in his eyes. Then he smirked. "Ava Monroe? Didn't expect to see you crawling out from under your rock." I smiled back, sweet as poison. "Missed you too, Caleb. Tell me, how's your conscience these days?" He laughed, but I saw the tremor in his hand. That's when I knew fear had finally met him. After that night, things accelerated. Anonymous leaks began hitting the local press. Financial irregularities, stolen funds, falsified reports. The Frost names started to crack. And though I never signed those leaks, everyone whispered the same thing. The devil's in town. They meant me. But revenge wasn't clean. Every step forward pulled me deeper into danger. My apartment got ransacked, my phone bugged. Once a black car followed me for miles before vanishing into the fog. I couldn't trust anyone, not even Noah completely. Still, I couldn't stop. I started recording everything, keeping backups hidden across town. If I disappeared, the truth would still surface. By then, sleep was a luxury. My reflection looked like a stranger, eyes colder, sharper, the kind of girl who didn't break anymore. Then came the charity gala, the Frost's annual showcase of hypocrisy. I went wearing one of Eli's old camera pendants, my secret reminder. Noah slipped me the final piece that night, a thumb drive with Caleb's confession recorded during a drunken brag. My plan was simple. At midnight, I'd hijack the gala's big screen and play the footage live. Simple until Noah cornered me behind the stage. Ava, you can't do this. They'll destroy you. They already did. He stared at me, something between fear and admiration flickering in his eyes. He said quietly, "You're not the devil they fear. You're the reckoning they deserve." And then he walked away. When the countdown hit 0, I pressed play. The ballroom froze as Caleb's voice echoed through the speakers. Had to shut him up, man. Ava Monroe was going to ruin everything. Gasps, screams, reporters scrambling. Caleb's face drained of color, while his father, the mayor, tried to kill the sound. But it was too late. The footage had already gone viral, thanks to Noah, who'd uploaded it to every platform in town. That night, the Frost Empire began to crumble. But victory wasn't sweet. Standing in the aftermath, I realized revenge doesn't heal, it just replaces pain with power. And power, once tasted, doesn't let go easily. Because even as Caleb was led away in cuffs, someone else watched me from the balcony, a tall figure in a charcoal suit, smiling like he knew something I didn't. Later, I'd find a note slipped into my car. Eli was only the beginning. Welcome to the real game, D. The handwriting was elegant, precise, dangerous. And for the first time, I realized the Frosts weren't the only monsters hiding in Ravenshore. They were just the first ones I'd burned. The morning after the gala felt unreal. Headlines screamed, "Mayor's son exposed," "Corruption in Frost Empire," and "Anonymous whistleblower leaks viral footage." But the headline I wanted, "Ava Monroe gets justice," never appeared, because in Ravenshore, truth didn't stay clean for long. By sunrise, the Frost's lawyers were already spinning the story. Caleb was drunk, manipulated, framed. They painted me as an obsessed sister seeking attention. Social media split in two. Half called me a hero, the other half called me crazy. Noah texted once, "Lay low, they'll come for you next." Too late, someone already had. When I got home, my apartment door hung open. Nothing was stolen, but everything had been touched, like someone wanted me to know they'd been there. On the mirror, in red marker, a single word: stop. That's when I realized D wasn't just a threat, it was a message. And a test. Over the next few days, I tried to vanish, quit my internship, wiped my devices, and moved into a motel off Highway 9. But paranoia followed me like static. Every phone vibration made my pulse spike. Then on the third night, someone slipped an envelope under my door. Inside was a single photo, my brother and me at the beach last summer. Written on the back in the same elegant handwriting, "You're stronger than you think. Meet me." Below, an address, Pier 41, midnight. My brain screamed trap. My heart whispered answers. I went anyway. The pier was empty except for the tide's whisper and a figure leaning against a lamppost. A man, tall, dark coat, expression unreadable. "You're D," I said. He smiled faintly. "Daniel Cade. Friends called me D before they stopped being friends." He handed me a flash drive. "That's what your brother died for. and what Frost tried to bury. Who are you? Let's just say I'm the one who made Frost rich enough to think he could play God. My fingers tightened around the drive. Why help me? His eyes gleamed. Because revenge is more fun when it burns the right people. Then he walked away, disappearing into the fog like a ghost that knew my next move before I did. I didn't trust him, but curiosity devoured fear. Back at the motel, I opened the drive. Inside, encrypted files, coded names, offshore accounts. Frost wasn't just laundering money, he was tied to a larger syndicate, the Dominion, a network feeding politicians, law enforcement, and media. Eli was getting too close to them, and now, so was I. I didn't sleep. I spent nights decoding files, tracing transfers, building a map of names that reached far beyond Ravensshore. The deeper I went, the more I realized Caleb wasn't the real monster. He was a pawn. The real puppet master still pulled strings, smiling from somewhere higher. And every thread led back to one name stamped across dozens of fake charities. Cade Industries. Daniel's company. The man who just helped me. I confronted him 2 nights later. He didn't deny it. Yes, I funded them, but I also know how to dismantle them. From the inside. You expect me to believe that? I expect you to decide whether you want vengeance or victory. He leaned closer, voice smooth as ice. Join me, Ava. I can give you power to finish what Eli started. You've already proven you're not afraid of devils. And maybe he was right. Maybe I'd become one. For weeks, we worked together in secret. Daniel's network had eyes everywhere. Lawyers, hackers, even someone in the mayor's office. He taught me how to manipulate systems, leak strategically, weaponize information. I wasn't the scared sister anymore. I was becoming something else. And yet, beneath the adrenaline, a question gnawed. Was Daniel using me the same way Frost used Eli? Noah resurfaced one evening, finding me in a cafe near the docks. You disappeared, he said. Everyone's looking for you. I had to disappear. He studied me. You're working with Cade, aren't you? Ava, he's worse than Frost. He's the only one who can finish this. Or he's the one rewriting it. His warning hit like thunder, but by then I was in too deep. Daniel began introducing me to people, donors, politicians, investors. Smile, say little, listen more, he'd whisper. Power hides in silence. Each meeting revealed a new piece of the puzzle. The Dominion controlled almost every major contract in town. The Frost scandal had only exposed one rotten branch. The roots went deeper, into the mayor's campaigns, the police funding, the city's construction deals. If I wanted real justice, I had to rip out the whole tree. Then came the twist. Caleb escaped custody, disappeared during transfer. Rumor said Daniel arranged it. When I demanded the truth, he didn't deny it. He's useful alive, he said. Dead men can't confess on cue. That's when I started keeping my own secrets again. Files on Daniel, backup copies of everything. If I was playing devils, I needed leverage. Justice, I reminded myself, not addiction. Don't become what you hate. But that line was fading fast. Weeks passed. The Dominion fractured under leaks I fed anonymously. Their money pipelines collapsed. One by one, their allies turned on each other. The town that once mocked Eli now whispered my name like a legend. Still, I couldn't stop. Power hummed in my veins, the kind Eli never wanted me to taste. Then one night, Noah showed up again, bleeding, terrified. They know, Ava. Cade found your backups. Before I could answer, headlights swept across the room. Black cars, men in suits. Daniel stepped out, perfectly composed. You disappoint me, he said softly. You had potential. And you have lies. Lies build empires, sweetheart. Truth destroys them. And everyone holding it. He motioned to his men. Bring her. But I wasn't the same girl anymore. I grabbed Noah's hand, dove through the back exit, and ran. We hid in the ruins of the old warehouse.
Eli's workplace, where it had all begun. Rain hammered the tin roof as I searched for a signal. My laptop flickered, half broken, but still alive. I opened the folder marked Project Dominion Final Upload. Noah looked at me. "If you send this, you'll burn the entire system, including yourself." "Then let it burn." I hit upload. Files shot through encrypted channels across the internet. Thousands of pages of fraud, bribes, and blackmail. Daniel's empire, Frost's legacy, the mayor's corruption, all of it. Gone in seconds. Sirens echoed in the distance. Arrests, resignations, frozen assets. And me? Gone. I left Ravensshore before dawn, slipping onto a bus heading north. No ID, no phone, just Eli's camera pendant around my neck. I wasn't Ava Monroe anymore. I was the ghost of everyone they'd underestimated. Months passed. News channels still whispered about the devil of Ravensshore, the woman who brought down a dynasty. But I wasn't done. Justice wasn't a single story, it was a cycle. And somewhere, Daniel Cade was still out there, rebuilding. Until I got an email from an anonymous address. New coordinates, same game. Are you ready to play again? Attached was a photo of a new city skyline, Chicago. And below it, a familiar symbol burned into the corner of the image. D. I stared at the screen, a slow smile curling my lips. You can't kill the devil, I thought. You can only teach her to rule.
If you enjoyed watching this story, we would truly appreciate it if you subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us and keeps us motivated to create more emotional and inspiring stories for you.